I was just
time to log.
It's the Merry Christmas log.
Man, Merry Christmas. I love how like the Commonwealth English speaking world says Happy Christmas. It's just like, I don't know what's so funny about it. Just everything's just a little bit different, you know. Oh, it's not Merry Christmas, it's Happy Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm into the Happy Christmas.
Of
course I'm into it. I mean, but I'm not sure. I can't. I don't know if I could ever prefer it over a Merry Christmas.
It's so hard. It's so hard after years and years of Merry Christmas.
Has our mutual friend Alex, who's now living in the UK,
Alex, I haven't heard from him yet today. He must be up. It must be like Christmas. It's like noon or something over there, I think. They must be in the thick of it. I'm
looking for a system to log here. This is not the best. The living room is occupied by family, and so I'm over here on the staircase. So it's going to have to do.
Nice. I'm in the middle of rearranging everything, moving everything.
Wow.
Getting to move, boxing stuff up, putting stuff up for sale.
Yeah, welcome to the log. If you're new here, the dog log is my buddy Michael and I's ongoing sort of imaginary podcast that's been running for some 3, 4, 5 years. We've lost track. Big Phish thing, and Michael is moving to Yamanashi, and you're cleaning up everything now. Yeah. It's time to move. What's the ETA on the move, or what's the ETD, or what do you
ETR, estimated time of roll.
Okay. Oh, I like that, ETR.
Hey, what's the ETR on the dog log?
Yeah.
What time's the log gonna roll? It is, what's today, the 25th? Less than a month. T minus.
Oh.
T.
So you got some time.
T minus 29 days.
Okay. It's gonna happen. It'll be here before you know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's coming up. I'm right in the middle of sorting, going through one man's trash. Did just come across little joy here.
Oh man. Hey man, one man's trash would be killer on vinyl, no? That would be awesome.
I mean, it's still great.
And material.
Not on vinyl. You know what I would love to see Phish do would be man, there's that song that's called something like Lou, my bodyguard. There's a song that's called for Lou, my bodyguard. Oh man, I just had it for a second. I've lost it. How does it go? It's great. It's like a Brian and Robert. It's like a Brian and Robert almost. It's nice, I think. Because Satan is real on the fainting couch. You hear the song? I can feel my perfect sinking too. Do you know what I'm talking about? Feels good against my arm. No one can get by me. No one can deny me. When lose something da da da. Nice melody though, man.
Yeah, it's a weird lyric.
One man's trash. Yeah.
On
the fainting couch. Yeah, weird. Super weird. Inside me. Man. Yeah. So good. And just a minute ago, I was listening to Knucklebone from Summer, from something, Deer Creek or something. And I wanted to listen to it before we started logging, and I just like searched Knucklebone on YouTube. I just played the first video that popped up, and it was like someone's iPhone, like in the crowd, And the music is so quiet, and you just hear all like the dudes. There's just like the music's like this big, and then you hear this guy like, is this Camel Walk? Oh man, oh Knucklebone, oh man, and they're just like, it's super funny. Oh yeah, left an impression. It's funny. There's this guy who's like, is this Camel Walk? And then when he like they start singing, he like knows all the words. It's quite funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Man,
Knucklebone
in a sea of foam.
In a sea of foam.
Love, and I'm coming home. Man, Knucklebone.
Knucklebone, bro. It's kind of the like, it's the
man, everything about it.
It's kind of like, it feels like, you know, Tila's got like the man who stepped into yesterday, sort of. The man who stepped into yesterday flows through Gamehenge, right? It flows all through. It's sort of the theme music of Gamehenge. I feel like Knucklebone is like
the kind of like like the narration background music.
Right. I feel like Knucklebone. That's the whole vibe of the album. It's a thing that you're never really quite in the groove because it's so crazy. And, you know,
yeah, we were talking about best 3.0, 4.0. I almost feel like Sci-Fi Soldier is the best album.
Yeah, I mean, it just
like
it's hard to usurp like anything, like any of the top echelon, but it knocked the entire chessboard over. It just cleared the whole thing, you know. It was like game over. It's just like all new rules. This is the new jam, and like I don't know. I wonder what it says about somebody who like. Because I wish I was thinking about, because Knucklebone is, of course, the first track, you know, and I just can't. I wish I could go back and relive the excitement of seeing that for the first time.
You can still remember what it was like.
I know I can remember it. I can remember what it was like, but I just
and it's almost like it's so good you don't realize how good it was. You're like, I didn't know how good. I can remember how exciting it was, but I didn't actually realize how awesome, how great it really was, because you don't know what's happening. It's only like on a second or third listen when you're like, oh man, oh whoa.
But Knucklebone was like, it was groovy out the gate. You didn't have any question that it was. I mean, you just it was what you were saying, where it's like, you know, it's just discombobulating because you're like, you can't sing the words because you don't know anything, but you're like, is this groovy? This is groovy, isn't it? Like, because this is a killer tune, right? And it was just, but there were
surprises,
but the moment where like they come down from the rafters and
they're like the crazy synth, it's so good.
To save a planet, you know. What is this? What's the opening line?
Oh, I don't. What? Yeah. What? I mean, what's there's like one's like prepare for dematerialization. Yeah.
That's it.
So, right. Entering the arena. Yeah. I hope these people are ready to get more down. Yeah. I don't know. There's like each guy says something.
But then like they come up and like the whole freaking audience is just going like as berserk as they've ever been in their entire lives, right?
Yeah.
It's like the hottest.
I mean, the anticipation is like through the roof.
Yeah, so
it rivals like Hampton, like 3.0 comeback.
It's even bigger in a way, but yes, you're right.
You know what I mean? But Hampton's like when they start Fluffhead, how like even on the recording, the crowd is, you always hear the crowd, and you can tell when the crowd is excited, and that's even like, it's like 10 times bigger.
I want to go back
it's not quite the same.
No, but
Halloween.
I think I want to see the band at that moment, because the band. I always think about
recently. Yeah, sorry, go for it.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I think there's like a slight delay on the stream, so I feel like I think there's a second to start talking, but then you go for it. I'm gonna try to find
No, I insist. Yeah. No, I think there's a delay.
I was just gonna say, I think I sent it to you. I'm gonna try and find it on Instagram, either on Mike's feed or someone else's. It's like one of the costume designers. There's a selfie of Mike in the costume inside of the tube.
Right. There's a couple of those I've seen.
It's somewhere if I can find it. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah. But I wonder, like, when they came out at Hampton, like, were they like?
They weren't wearing the costumes, that's for sure.
No, but like, were they taken aback by the volume of the audience? And is there a shot of them being like, "Holy cow, this is"?
Oh, that'd be great. A photo of that first show.
Because in Sci-Fi Soldier, there is a moment where they come up and like the audience calms down and is like, okay, go ahead. And then the band kind of like looks at each other and they're like, and then another roar of applause comes up right then, right? I can't see. Hold on, I'll make you big.
Let's see if we can. Here's Mike inside.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's like, what a shot! What a shot!
I guess it's not a selfie, but he's like inside the tube.
For the ages.
Damn. That's killer.
That is a great shot. Man. Yeah, well, I should have used last week's thumbnail for this week's video, because I don't know if you caught it, but I made like a little get more down. I had sort of AI-ify it a little bit, so to get it in the right aspect ratio.
No, I like not knowing what the thumbnail is until the middle of the show.
That's fine. Yeah, it was.
That should almost be one of like the gags. Is I've got to try to figure out what the thumbnail is.
Well, I don't think we've at once
talked about it. No. Well, if Vaj was here, he would help us. He'd help me figure it out.
But there's this moment where that audience erupts into applause again, and Trey kind of laughs, and he looks over at the band with like a tiny bit.
Oh, in Sci-Fi Soldier?
Yeah. You know the moment.
Yeah.
He just looks over and he's like, and he stops and lets the audience shower him with applause again. He's just like relieved that everything worked, everything's there. They made it. Like they got down.
Yeah, there's always technical difficulties, right? Like always.
Right. And all they had to do from henceforth is play. But that's another feat, play an entire. It's just insane. I mean, how much what was let's see, what's the date on Sci-Fi? It's Halloween, right? So
it's Halloween. Yeah, 2021.
So what was the previous show before it?
Well, like there's like three, it's the fourth of the last of 4 nights in Vegas, or the last of 3 nights, or I think it's 4, because they do. It's like there's like that number show and the animal show.
Oh God, you're right.
Like those shows are the lead up. That run is just the best. And the animal show's got the Harpua, where he basically like explains the whole thing, right. And it just sounds like nonsense.
I never went back and listened to it.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Because that night you were like, what the hell is he talking about? And then the next night you're like, oh my God,
it all makes sense.
It's so weird when there's things like that, you're like, oh, this was nonsense until just a minute ago. Now, whoa.
Like especially nonsensical. Like Trey's nonsensical, but like that time it was like you're almost like worried for him. You're like, what's happening?
Yeah. We're like, wait, is he he's definitely older.
Right.
Is everything okay?
Oh man, so good.
You know.
But you think of like, okay, to learn what 10 new songs, was it 10, 12 new songs plus jams? You know, it was like 12, it was an entire album's worth of music. And not just any music, but like Phish's music. And it's like, okay, so maybe they wrote these songs in jam. Maybe they wrote them at the beginning of the year. I mean, wow, that would be interesting to know. When did they get written?
I wonder. Yeah.
Because maybe it was years in the works.
Oh yeah, who knows?
What if that's
it could have been something? Yeah, it might have. I mean, it might have been dreamt up during the pandemic, and it was like, man, are we gonna go on tour? Right, the summer tour happens. That's the same. Just a month later, 2 months later, they canceled New Year's because there's just so many COVID cases. And all like their whole tour has just been like called like a super spreader event. It's kind of weird. Like all that stuff is so normal. Every day you were looking at the number of cases and like I don't even know if the vaccines were out yet or not. Man, it's so weird to think about.
It's pretty weird. This I'm gonna go down a step. That's the way to do it.
You gotta bring yourself back up on screen. I'm not able to do.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
And I'm just still here. It's like in Wayne's World when I forget why Wayne runs off. Like there's a moment when like they're live and it's Garth. He's alone on the couch.
And he's just and he's like,
hey, whatever. Wayne. Whatever.
Wayne will be back. Right. Yeah, and Wayne's. Well, I should go back and watch all those. It's been ages.
So good.
Ages and ages.
I hear a sound. Yeah. Little generic phono pre.
Okay.
A nice generic phono pre.
Man, I'm listening to all these like hi-fi guys, and man, it's the spectrum of the spectrum of hi-fi that's available is really astounding. Like how you can go from the cheapest little circuit to the most insane expensive thing. It's just crazy how there's the spectrum is just crazy. And there's like, it is kind of like they do say that, it just how it sounds to you, right? That's all that what all these people say. How does it sound to you? Is because the way you hear it is different from the way you hear it. But they all also like put amps and speakers in categories of thousands of dollars. Well, that's a $10,000 phono pre-stage. That's a $100,000 pre-stage. That's a $50 like phono stage. And you're supposed to
20.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you would get scoffed at, in an audiophile circle for that. And yet it probably is like the difference between that and like literally 2,000 times it is maybe not that different. Not
one
that
of these
different.
It's one of these kind of charts.
Yeah.
Right.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, it's like going from $100 to $500 is like 1,000% leap in performance or the sound or whatever. But then 5,000 to 50,000 gets you like an extra 2% or something.
Yeah, maybe even like 0.002%.
But you're such a manic obsessive, and you've run out of stuff to buy, so you start obsessing over the cables and what kind of metal is inside the cable, or you just find new specs to obsess over. Right, because it's all about being obsessed with something.
Yeah, I'm thinking
I'm
more
happy
about
with my rig.
Yeah, I'm happy with my rig too, but I'm oh, there goes my chicken soup. I baked the chicken tonight. And
Chicken
so I got the carcass going right now. I'll go check in on it.
The carcass.
Smells good.
Chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah,
all
man.
right. Actually,
Good.
man, I just recently, like me and Dave were talking, and for some reason, chicken soup. Just I don't know. I think he made chicken soup, and I just said chicken soup for the soul, and we just happened to like look up chicken soup for the soul. You know, like that book, the inspirational. They like had this insane success and just made chicken soup for the X soul, 50, 100, 200, tons of books, just printing money. And then they made all these awful choices and completely went bankrupt and like lost everything.
Really?
Just in the past year. They bought Red Box. Do you remember these vending machines outside of McDonald's where you could like rent DVDs, like a Netflix type thing?
Right.
Like they bought that, and then they just like bought, who knows, trying to diversify or something. They bought all these things that just like didn't work, and they like lost everything. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yule log.
This is log. Christmas cake. That's a proper log right there. Wow.
I'm gonna cut off a piece of this. I was gonna wait for Apollo.
I mean, let it roll. Cake.
Oh, maybe I'll wait for Apollo. I made this like insane chicken, gorgeous holiday dinner, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna go to dance night." Sudden change of plans. We're gonna. Okay, I've only been cooking for 4 hours, but it's fine. So,
man. Just can't win.
Sweet. No. But anyway, we made a big ass chicken. I'm making soup. Obviously, I need some sleep.
You need some sleep.
I need some sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some serious sleep. Zoe's got school tomorrow, and but a half day, and then I think we got to put in I got to put in a Thursday and a Friday, and then I think we're off. The office is officially off next week.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, should have like a little get together of some sorts.
Yeah, that would be nice.
My gosh, I might maybe a hot tea.
Yep.
I meant tea and a bath, right? So you made the bath, right? I'm gonna go take a bath here.
That sounds nice.
Wait for the
laundry. Left an impression.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do tonight? If I can, actually, I should go do it. My plan was I've basically given up, but I looked up. I want to make one YouTube video about the Muppets. I want to do a video. I may do it like I may get off this call to go do it, a 10-15 minute tribute to the Muppets, John Denver, A Christmas Together.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, that's so good.
Yeah. I added it to a top 5 list at one point, and I made some notes about it. I don't remember which category it was in. Autobiographical, maybe.
It must have been. That's I think it's autobiographical. I think it was season 1.
But I went and looked it up again today, and it's got some interesting provenance. It's like it was the show. It was a show before it was a record, and it
like
was
when John Denver was like the guest on the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
Christmas,
and it started like Jim Henson was living in UK with, I think, all the Muppets. That's where they lived. And
the studio was there.
And the guys, and he wrote to John Denver and said, write the songs and then come over here and record them. And they wrote 20 songs, of which only like 12 ended up on the album. So there's 8 more songs out there, and some that some of the songs that are written on the record aren't Christmas carols. They're like other songs. And they were aiming to make some, I mean, I suppose everybody is, but they were like aiming to make something that is as beloved as, you know, Bing Crosby or Elvis. You know, that's what they were aiming for. And what else was there? What other notes were there about it? There were some interesting notes. I was going to print them up and sort of rattle some things off. It was from 1977 or 79, maybe. It was from 1979, and then it got released in 80, and it got repressed over. It only existed on LP and cassette and 8-track for like a lot of years, and then in the last since 2017, they've repressed it like half a dozen times on blue and candy cane and picture disc and all this stuff. But it's
a different color vinyl. That's cool.
What else? Yeah, Miss Piggy nearly got cut from it, and Robin has
unreleased.
No, like a higher he sings more than anybody else on the record, surprisingly. Robin had his moment, right?
It was when Robin was, you know, being, I don't know what the word is, trained. He was vetted. He was, you know, he was on his way to taking over for Kermit.
Yeah, I never was a big
Robin.
I don't mind him.
Robin's fine.
There was a character I didn't know who it was. There was one character I was like, whoa, I want to.
What's interesting, Robin is Kermit's nephew, but they don't explain. I've always thought that he's the nephew of Kermit, whether that's right or not. But it's like, I mean, Kermit has a brother or sister somewhere that we like never have heard of ever.
Oh, I saw a Family Guy clip today of Brian the dog riding a bicycle, and he has these like Kermit the Frog legs, you know. He said I'm blowing my mind right now. First time you've seen a dog with long legs riding a bicycle, your mind's being blown, isn't it? And it was just so meta, like really it caught me off guard.
It was. I think it's on YouTube. There's like the making of shot where they show the bike riding scene, because it was like crazy camera magic with this like track up in the air above where they're like controlling the Muppets like over top. And then I think that technique is like expanded upon in Muppets Take Manhattan. Muppets Take Manhattan, there's like is it even like the beginning of the movie? No, it can't be the beginning of the movie. Beginning of the movie is like they're on stage doing together again. But there's like I'm pretty sure it's Muppets Take Manhattan, or maybe it's Great Muppet Caper. There's another scene where there's like 3 times many Muppets all riding bikes at the same time, and it's like an even more crazy complex orchestration of members and cameras and tracking stuff.
Oh, here's the Muppet I didn't know who it was. Link Heartthrob.
No idea.
Link Hogthrob. I've never seen who Link Hogthrob is. Is it dim-witted pig?
Oh yeah, I know Link
He's like Pigs in Space.
Okay, Pigs is. I love him. He's great. Okay, Link Hogthrob.
I looked him up. I totally I didn't know the name. That's an insane name. Hogthrob. Right.
Floyd, we know. Floyd is the sax player, right? Or no, Floyd's the guitar player. He's the front guy. And then Lou.
Floyd is the bass player, like Sgt. Pepper kind of like jacket.
Right.
With the glasses.
Janice is the bass player, maybe.
Oh, is Floyd playing guitar?
I forget.
Janice is playing bass?
Who's the guy? Zoot? Who's the guy that plays
I think Zoot. Zoot is the sax player.
Okay, Zoot's the sax. Then who is
Zoot Sims or something?
Who is Gonzo, Beaker, Janice, Statler, Scooter? It's crazy. Lou Zealand is an interesting character.
Lou Zealand.
He was the guy with the
good names.
He was the guy with all the. He always had the dynamite, wanted to blow up everything.
Right. Yeah.
I read a little bit about it. Let's see. Oh, Ray Charles was involved in it, vocal arranger.
Oh, on the John Denver, the Christmas album?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's quite cool, right?
Man, I also really love Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, that's kind of like a generation gap.
It's really, oh, yeah, I think we talked about it.
Slightly,
it's so good. It's just after Jim Henson died. His son is the director, I believe.
Right.
So it's like all original Muppet crew except for Jim Henson, I think.
It's Little Saint Nick is the Beach Boys.
Oh, Little Saint Nick, wow, wow, wow. Yeah. Little Saint Nick. Yeah. That Beach Boys Christmas album.
The Beatles.
Run, reindeer.
And he won.
He what?
Mike Love. It says here, Mike Love was added to the credits for Little Saint Nick after a 1994 court case.
Dude, Mike Love is such a fucking monster who just sues everybody. Sues everybody for like anything. The worst. Man, there's I don't know if it's unreleased or what. It was like so hard to find for a long time. There's a Beach Boys Christmas song called Alone on Christmas Day. That's just like, oh my God, beautiful, amazing song.
Cool.
Man, I kind of forgot about it. Didn't listen to it this year. Man, it's great. Man, Beach Boys.
Brian Wilson and Mike Love.
Oh, like wrote that song?
I think, but Brian Wilson was credited, and then Mike Love wasn't until he was, after he had taken them to court.
Wait, for the Muppet Christmas song?
Yeah, Little Saint Nick, Dr. Teeth, and the Electric Mayhem do.
Oh, nice. Run, run, reindeer. Run, reindeer. Wah, 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 wah.
A classic song.
That's pretty good, dude. I'm gonna have to send you. I'll send you a link. I wrote a Christmas song this year.
Wow, interesting.
For my little songwriting camp.
Cool.
That I'm doing with Jake and those guys. And there's a Muppet reference. I want you to listen and see if you can find it actually.
Okay.
I mean, I believe it'll be pretty obvious, but
I'm looking for like an article. Like I would love to know. I would love to see like a making of. I did read. I read about the art director who did the cover. I went deep down into his thing. He was the art director on Sesame Street and the Muppets.
Can I say I'm not that crazy about the cover?
You can say it. I'm pretty crazy about it. I love the cover. That's okay.
Maybe it's the typeface or something.
Could be.
It's just of the time. It's yeah. It's a great photo. Can you imagine getting photographed with the Muppets like that? It's like a fucking.
John Denver wrote a letter that said it was one of the highlights of his career. It's just a real sentimental letter, but he did write a letter that it was. Hold on, the letter might even be here.
Run, run, reindeer.
It got a little religious. Some of the songs that because John Denver was kind of a bit of an outspoken, or he was a pretty devout guy. I think. I think he had his own brand of Christianity, but he did have he sings about God. But the funny thing was do you remember, like, in the PMRC, the parents, the people, again, the people who put the parental warning on the CDs, he was one of the most outspoken voices about anti-censorship. John Denver, do you know this?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's up there. It's three very interesting characters: Dee Snider of Twisted Sister, Frank Zappa, and John Denver. The three of them.
Those three together is pretty insane, actually.
And they're all really well spoken. And ironically, like, Dee Snider is the most well spoken of them all. He's a bit of a bruiser, but he's the most well spoken of the lot.
You see the guy who had his teeth filed down into like points?
Oh no. Is that no, come on, really? Oh my goodness. I didn't hear about that.
I'm not sure. Dee Snider, Twisted Sister. Dee Snider. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, new teeth filed into points to resemble fangs.
Wow.
There's a Getty Images photo from 1985.
Okay, maybe he's fixed it since. It's crazy.
I wonder. Yeah, wow. Interesting though, him and Frank Zappa and John Denver.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen the testimonies, the congressional testimonies, they're fun. They're really interesting. Dee Snider is funny. He comes in with like a jean jacket vest with the sleeves ripped off, and he's like, his hair's all down. He doesn't have makeup on, but he's like, "Thank you, Mr. Congressman. Your Honor, I'd like to address the."
He's got 30 minutes.
It's so good.
Oh wow, yeah, he's got the hair.
I recommend watching that. It's pretty funny.
1985. Yeah.
And he says, like, because one of the people of the PMRC, the group that led the charge against parental advisory stickers, was Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife.
Yeah.
This might just be a slight generation gap, but there's Al Gore is on the congressional committee that's interrogating Dee Snider, and he says, in your lyrics they say that it's you're talking about masochism, and you're talking about leather gloves and studded leather belts. It's so funny. And he's like, why would you invoke those kind of images in your songs? And he says, well, that song is about surgery. It's not about suicide. It's my bandmate was going under surgery. And he says, oh, is that right? And he says, yes. And if you'll refer to the lyric of blah, blah, blah. But had you asked me about that, I could have told you about it, rather than for you to assume that it's about masochistic sexual tendencies or whatever. And then he says, well, my wife, Al Gore, says something about, like, your T-shirts have satanic things on them, and they depict women in compromised sexual positions. And he says, I have a kid, and I don't want my kid to hear those kinds of things, and I don't curse at home, and I don't drink, and I'm a family man. And he like puts Al Gore in his place so bad, but he finally says like, the only sexual deviant is your wife who is imagining
Right.
things aren't there. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, burn. Oh no. Oh no.
I found it on YouTube. Yeah, the comment section is pretty amazing.
And
wow. Yeah, I've never seen this. This looks pretty good.
Rebuttal him, but it's futile. It's so funny. And Gore is like, you know, he's not young, but he's like 55, you know, and D. Snyder is like 28 or 26. You know, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
David taking down Goliath, pretty funny.
Man, that's pretty funny.
But John Denver comes on, and he kind of is talking in that same sort of like Mr. Rogers voice, where he's like,
yeah.
You remember when Mr. Rogers went before Congress?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I've seen that.
And he like convinces them, and with one small speech, that he's like, you have to understand, sir.
What is he there about?
Funding for public radio.
Funding for PBS. Okay, yeah.
And he gives this real impassioned, gentle speech, and you have to understand, Congressman, that children have this, and he just gives this really kind of sweet Mr. Rogers explanation. And John Denver, that's John Denver's approach as well. And he says,
gotcha.
The reason that John Denver, if you don't know why John Denver is on the list, is because he had the song Rocky Mountain High. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. And everybody assumed that he was talking about getting stoned. And he got, taken off the radio, and he got censored. And that's why he was there defending defending that.
Man, speaking of Colorado, there's been a couple rumors about Phish not playing Dick's. Have you heard these?
Dick's doesn't really impress me, to be honest. I get that they love it there, but I would love to see them.
Well, I guess the next rumors are Folsom Field in Boulder. Looks like it's like twice as big as Dick's or something.
Yeah,
like huge.
The Dead played there. It's where the football team plays.
Folsom Field, 4th of July weekend is the rumor.
That should be fun. That's my school.
Folsom. That's Yes, is it?
That's University. My particular
from
college,
people who work for Buffaloes,
right next to this Folsom Field too. Quite nice stadium. To be honest, I don't even think I've ever stepped foot in it. They weren't doing shows there when I was in school, and I think the Dead like ruined it, or Kiss or somebody. It's like, but they did that thing where they just like the fans destroyed the stadium one year, and then they never allowed shows there anymore. But it holds like 60,000 people or something. It's a huge place. I would think Dick's would be as big, but I'm kind of not surprised. It's like a Big 12 or Big 8 or whatever. It's one of those size stadiums. I think the one in like the Green Bay or like Michigan State, that stadium holds like 100,000 people. It's like it's bigger than any NFL stadium in the country.
Man, I wonder when we'll get a summer tour announcement. There's like those spring. There's like a West Coast. There's like a West Coast spring rumor also happening.
My brother's getting married in March, at the end of March.
Oh yeah.
I think I have to go to the States, and I don't think I can bring everybody with me. I maybe can bring one of us.
Yeah.
Or I just go by myself. But I think I have to go. And I don't have to go, but I think
You would like to.
Sure, of course I'd like to go, but I would also like to like pop into Oregon while I'm there, pop into Boulder while I'm there. I would like to. I won't have the funds, but I would like to, especially Portland, because I have some friends there that I haven't seen in ages, and
yeah.
But I would really, if I could have my brothers, I would rather go to Folsom. I would rather go to Boulder and spend 4th of July weekend in Phish at Folsom Field.
Sure.
Then see them in Oregon. Or seeing them in Oregon would be amazing, but seeing them at Folsom Field would be a trip.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Tom Waits played a theater in Tulsa, and it's on one of the live. It's on Glitter and Doom. Like, it's prominently on Glitter and Doom. There's like 4 songs from that show that he played at this little tiny club, and I contemplated going there. I was like, to see Tom Waits.
You didn't go.
And I didn't go, no. And it's one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, right. Shows you regret not going to. Yeah. Fuck, it happens, man.
It happens.
That's why I went and saw Eastern Youth the other day, a couple weeks ago, just like last minute. I was like, I gotta, man.
Go. Good on you for just going.
Just gotta go.
The Lips are going to be here in January.
Oh, really? In Tokyo? That's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them since 2002.
I haven't seen them in a while either. Yuko and I were at a gym. Yuko and I went to Tulsa for Photo Oklahoma business. And Jim James happened to be playing one night, and we went to the show.
Oh, nice.
And Wayne Coyne was in the audience, and I walked right when we walked in, and we're walking up to the front of the venue. Like, we literally just like bumped into each other. I was like, "Oh, fuck, Wayne Coyne." He's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm Brian. I've been trying to write you about the thing." And he was like, "Oh yeah, we've been trying to get." I think he was just blowing. I think he was just being nice, but I was like, "Well, I said because the Japan earthquake had happened, and the more we were there for the more thing, and I said, "Hey, we want to invite you to come be a part of the volunteering that we're going to do." And he said, "Yeah, we got that message. We're working on it." And then just like it faded out. But it was kind of cool to like bump into him. Wait, that must have been 2012. What year did you say?
2002.
2002. Okay, it's been a while.
It was when they toured with. It was in Minneapolis with Beck. It was like the first night of that tour, I believe.
Wow.
Like Sea Change, and then Lips were just riding high on Yoshimi. Maybe it was 2003. And those albums had both come out the previous like summer, fall, or something, 2002, right? I got the ticket stub somewhere. I saw you with the ticket stub in your hand.
What's the Japan website where like it tells, or just the website that tells you like about upcoming shows? There's a website that everyone uses that's like.
I usually just like go to different promoter. Songkick. Yeah, that's an aggregate. I'll usually go to. There's only so many promoters for a lot of international acts. Like Smash is one of them. Sometimes I just go to the Smash website, or just go to different clubs. Songkick is probably more comprehensive. If it's just like an aggregator. Whoa, really? When? They are so awesome.
Yeah, Lemon Twigs are coming Monday, January 6th. Very soon.
What? I don't think that's gonna happen. Does it say where they're playing though? It's probably sold out.
Yeah, it's Duo Music Exchange, Shibuya.
Oh, I've been there.
I don't know it. Minyo Crusaders. There's some.
Man, they are so. That's a great show. That's like a band you got to see live. Oh, Cotton Club, that's cool. Yeah, they're awesome.
Lark and Ciel. I don't know how you say this name, but I've listened to these guys before. They're cool.
Yeah, like Visual K.
Yeah. What else? I don't. Idols. I don't recognize a lot of the bands. Maroon 5 coming to Tokyo
Dude,
Dome.
War at Blue
That'd be
Note
pretty cool.
in February. Lincoln Park. Jersey. Oh, Sigur Rós is coming back.
Park.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Fontaines
Hermanos
DC.
Gutierrez are going to be here too. That's the show I'd like to see. Are they together? Kokusai. Wow, Sigur Rós is at Kokusai International Forum.
Nice. That's kind of a cool spot.
Very cool spot.
I mean, the hall is kind of, I mean, it does sound good. It's just a nondescript hall. Man, Mr. Big at Budokan. New Order. I don't know if I'd like to see the current New Order, though. I'd like to see kind of, you know.
Toyosu Pit.
Mogwai, Jack White, man, PJ Harvey, all kinds of. There's always shows. Oh, Flaming Lips and Cornelia right there. That's cool.
March 26th. I wonder if I can.
Oh, there's 2 nights. Zepp Honda. I've been to Zepp Honda a couple times. It's all right. It's out at the airport, obviously. Man. Well, I hate to be the one to roll up a log when it's right in the middle of a nice roll, but I only got I don't know 5-10 minutes left. Do we want to just humor ourselves with a
log outro,
a daydream, just a daydream, a wish list of possible New Year's Eve gags on the eve of the run. Not even the gag, just what are you hoping? Do you want I'd like a night one. I'd like a shade in the first set with Trey doing the old melody, let's just go back and forth. You give me something.
First came to mind was Haley's, and any game hinge like a Tila or a Foreman or.
True. What do they do? Will there be some game hinge after last year?
A sloth.
Yeah.
And maybe life-saving gun.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe Knucklebone or.
I'd love Knucklebone, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. But it would be sick.
What about that other song that I like so much? The
Unwinding.
The Unwinding.
Is it the Unwinding or is it the Unwinding? Right, not the Howling.
I love that.
The Howling is the one they've been playing the most. Actually,
Howling. Ooh, yeah, the Howling's good, but I want to hear the Unwinding.
The Unwinding's better. Yeah,
and maybe like Old Lang Syne. We'll probably get that.
I mean, that's maybe not. Almost, it's pretty much a given, right? But man, what's the gag going to be? I wonder.
I haven't heard any rumors, so I have no idea.
I don't even want to hear the rumors. Yeah, it's but I mean,
this was their 40th. Last year was their 40th.
They kind of did 40th twice.
Right.
Year before last was quite cool. The singing telegram, and then they kind of did little bits of past gags, and they did like Bohemian Rhapsody, half of Bohemian Rhapsody and Ghost, and there was like all the naked guys and the clones, and like just it was endless. The marching band came out. It was just like that madness. That one was quite cool.
I wonder. I mean, they've got the flying things. They kind of did the underwater thing already a couple of times.
I kind of get your whole bit about what is there left to do?
Sci-fi, man. And that's like once you go
to 48, 36. I should remember what year it is that they're supposed to be from.
You
4380, whatever. I'd like one debut, whether that's realistic or not. It'd be great if they've been working on an album, the last few months or something.
I'm trying to think of like what are some other things like could be like it could be something like I was just thinking like well like I was thinking like in the vein of like the Christmas album idea, like
yeah,
if they could do like a comedy sort of like a variety, almost like a concert for George sort of thing, where like Monty Python and like they could come out and like do like a whole skit show, and yeah, there could be like they could do silly songs that the whole point was just to be like really, really, really silly. That kind of feels like they've done that. They've done that at New Year's a couple. That show that you were just describing. That's like it just like it made no like just throw everything like it was a food fight. It's just like everything.
Right. Or that one from I don't know 10-ish years ago when it's like meat. They did meat stick. And the stage was like AstroTurf. There were like golf carts driving around, and like the German like whatever
people
like
of the world
kind of like stereotype We Are the World type people singing meat stick in different languages, which is like kind of just like just a free for all.
I was thinking like Yellow Submarine, like just that's what got me thinking about Yellow Submarine. Took me to Monty Python. Monty Python took me to Concert for George.
Yeah.
And it just made me think of like, did the Beatles, like, would it be Beatley? Is that sort of like anything that's cover-ish related? Is that sort of fall into the Halloween camp and not really?
Oh, sure.
And like, what could they've done environmental, even though that wasn't a New Year's thing, but it sort of was. They've done something subdued with the Ninth Cube. They've done like over the top, and like you said, the clones and the golf thing and the
like ship. 10 years ago, I think 30th anniversary was the ship. 30th anniversary was like the Jemp truck.
The truck.
Remember they played on the truck with like the hockey sticks, and that was cool. That was great because it was like
they brought that back up recently, didn't they? Wasn't that at the last? I feel like that was. Did we? I feel like.
I don't think so.
That came back around. Okay, anyway.
But that was great because it's kind of maybe a little bit like Kasvad Vox. It's just like kind of nice to hear them with a little less gear, a few less effects pedals, a little more stripped down.
That could be something like a whole acoustic thing. Nobody would go for that.
There was the acoustic set at Festival 8, like the daytime the acoustic set, which is kind of cool.
I would love that.
That might have been the last time they've done an acoustic.
I saw an acoustic set. I saw an acoustic
kind of like the bluegrass kind of.
I remember like they came out from their instruments, and I want to say
like the bar stools.
Yes, I saw that at Red Rocks once, and I can't remember who played what. I want to say Page played bass, but Phish also played something. He played like a bass.
Yeah, I think I've seen Page playing bass.
But I feel like what did Phish play? Did Phish play?
Get guitar, maybe. I don't know. Mike's on banjo for sure. There's probably been a few different
acoustic.
It'd be kind of cool. It'd be nice to see, yeah, like acoustic army or like the piano army. Was that a Dix? Remember they all go over to Page World cool. And they're all all on the keyboards. That was nice.
Phish is playing guitar.
Just playing guitar? Okay.
Yeah. Here they are at Red Rocks. This was the show I saw.
Oh, man. Oh, I can see the picture. Acoustic Army. Whoa. A young Brian is there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Man, 4 acoustics. That's nice. Oh, and then here. Oh, there is one with Phish Plag where Phish is on mandolin and Page is on bass.
Phish is on mandolin? Phish is on mandolin.
I just found one picture. This might be this is 95. There's the chessboard in the background.
I'm not sure.
Black and Mike on banjo. Man, wild. Man, who knows what's gonna happen? Man, I'm pretty excited. I wasn't really thinking. I was like, oh, there's some shows coming up, but you kind of forget that you're like, dude, it's New Year's.
Something just popped into my head. Like Baker's Dozen was donuts, and I could see that food concept didn't get really explored beyond donuts. I wonder if there could be like a food motif. Doesn't sound very cool, but light, a whole light thing. I mean, every show kind of is a light thing,
right?
Food,
man. I don't know.
Nature, this flying is one that I was kind of thinking of, like with the Yellow Submarine got me to thinking of, like, did you ever ride that? Did you go to Disney Sea yet? Did you ride that ride soaring? You haven't been to Disney Sea in years, ever.
I've been to Disney Sea, but yeah, it's been years.
I went there with my family. Best.
Wait, is it like a 3D, one of those seats that move movie thing? Man, I love those. They had one of those at the Mall of America when I was like a kid, and I was obsessed because I didn't really like even like the little roller coaster at the Mall of America was like too scary for me. But they had a few of those things where, it's kind of like the 4D movies or whatever. It's like a movie theater, but the seats, they rumble and they move. Man, that's cool. That kind of sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen the one you're talking about, Soaring.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same thing, but it's the same concept at least. But it's 4
Those
stories.
Are great, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
oh my god,
crazy. Yeah, but and I think like you're on the bottom, and then you're on the top, and then everything's below you, and then everything's you can ride it a couple of times and it not be the same experience. But Phish.
I'm gonna make my prediction is that it's they play Evolve for the gag.
The whole album?
I'm thinking like the song, and there's some kind of something is evolving.
That's a great call.
Maybe it starts from nothing, and then I don't know. I'm like they'll probably play. It's usually it's not always a new song though, but it's often like, not that it's like a single or something, but like, right? They did Petrichor, they did like Soul Planet, they did like Mercury. I guess the Clones was First Tube. Who knows? Anything, you can go any direction with the gag, man.
What was last year?
Last year was like the whole Gamehenge, just like the whole like 2 sets of Gamehenge.
Okay, I was confused if that was Halloween or that was definitely New Year's. Okay.
Yeah, there's New Year's. There hasn't been a Halloween since 2021. Sci-fi.
That's right. I'm gonna say something to do with light. I'm gonna say it's a light thing, and they play light.
CK5 centric.
That's what I'm coming up with right now.
Man, I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm like properly exhausted.
Yeah, I'm like I would go get in the bath. This log's done rolled out. I'm gonna go do a couple things and go pick up the wife at the station.
She's okay, she's working today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a regular work.
Regular old standard
standard issue work day. Okay, well let's roll. We can roll the log again on the weekend.
Shout out to Vag.
Is Vag here?
No.
Oh, Vag, if you're watching, shout out to Vag. Vag is Vag, you gotta come hang out with this other posse where I know Vag from sometime. They're a bunch of it's a wild. Talk about a roller coaster. Those guys are wild. They are wild. And Vag plays a pretty integral role in the whole thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a counterpoint to some other things that are in there. And right now he's got a particular relevance that's, I think, sort of. But anyway. All right, dude. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to the dog.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas
all
to
you loggers out there. Yeah.
Phish fans. Phish, if you're watching, we're wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Phish, if you're watching, we're hoping for a knucklebone gag.
I'd like a Haley's. Haley's would be nice, please. Just, I don't know. I'm feeling a Haley's. Love me some
I like
Haley's.
that. Yeah. Haley's would be great.
Haley's has been in yeah. Happy about that.
Yeah, Haley's is it's common enough,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just about a week until the shows, huh? No, a couple days.
Maybe
from Saturday we're going to Yamanashi. Oh, megaphone.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yamanashi sounds great. I saw those grape photos. Looked really good. Looked tasty.
Dude, I'm gonna whenever Bryce is in town, I'm really hoping that Bryce is in town. It lines up with just a shipment of grapes, and we can just chow down.
I love those grapes. I bet they're just so expensive. You just can't eat them all in one setting. You can't just devour 2,000 yen worth of grapes. It's just a waste. No. But I would if they cost $8 instead of 22. The real.
I'm pretty sure it's like when you're in Aomori and all the good apples get shipped off to the rest of the country and they cost an arm and a leg, but there's all the leftover, the imperfects. In
Aomori, that's how they do it. They don't keep the good ones for themselves.
Dude, you can get apples for next to nothing, dirt cheap by the crate full.
Right, interesting.
Because there's a tiny blemish. We can't stick this in a supermarket in Ginza for $10.
Right.
Or the ones that naturally fall off the tree that just fall on the ground. Those also I don't know.
I love it when you cut into an apple and you just look at it and you're like, oh, this is going to be the sweetest apple I've ever eaten in my whole life. It's got that golden color in it. You're just like, oh, that's the super honey stuff. That's the super
right. Whatever that stuff is.
It's so good.
It's the sign of a good apple.
Very much so. I'm a nashi guy myself. I'm like a I'll go down with nashi. I take nashi as a last.
And it's different, right? It's like the Japanese pear to the Western.
Yeah, it's the king of all fruits. I feel like it's so good.
We're gonna turn this into the fruit log.
But I will say that you can go wrong. You can eat too much nashi, and actually nashi you can keep buying them too late into the season, and they just
get soft. Yeah, right.
They cross over into I don't want another nashi until next summer. Okay, dude.
It's easy. Yeah. All
All right, man.
I'm bouncing. The log will roll to see it another day. Or I don't know.
May the dog be with you.
Ooh, may the log be with you.
Yeah, have a happy log and merry dog to you.
Have a doggy loggy Christmas.
Okay. All right.
All right, doggy.
All right, dude. Party on. Catch you soon.
See you, dog.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. I did it.
Happy Christmas.